don't know for sure if this is not going to happen to Sabrina Carpenter. Whether it will or whether it will not, I don't know. But I'm going to go and go on record for saying that it will not happen to Sabrina Carpenter, because she seems to have her head in the right place, her head in her mind, seem to be focused on what she wants out of her career as a celebrity, and she's definitely one of the more endorsed celebrities right now on Disney Channel. So not only does she know what kind of direction she's headed in, but also Disney Channel and Disney Enterprises know what sort of direction she's headed in, and that's why they've gotten behind Sabrina Carpenter in the way that they have. We always see Sabrina Carpenter interviews popping up on YouTube, popping up on Disney Channel, popping up throughout the media, because she's so proud and so grateful for being given this opportunity from Disney to showcase her talent in the way that she has. Not only is she a talented singer, but she's also a very talented actress, which very few people have the opportunity to showcase. Very few people have been able to come through more than one aspect in their career. You take, for instance, Demi Lovato, great singer, but not that great of an actress. Miley Cyrus, great singer, not that great of an actress. Some people are great actresses and great actors, but not that great of singers. And I think that, it kind of goes back and forth. But that's what creates diversity. I think what the issue was with a lot of Disney Channel stars, and why they kind of went absolutely crazy after getting away from Disney, is because they tried to focus on more than one department, more than one aspect of their career, and that's what drove them literally insane. And I think that that's what they were trying to figure out with people like Demi Lovato and Selena Gomez, and that's why they ultimately made the decision to kind of get away from being an actress and stray away from that into becoming a singer, because they knew how much more talented they were as singers, per se, as they were actresses. Others decided to be actresses more than they did singers. So that's what really created diversity with Disney. But back in the day, what Disney had was a tremendous promotional campaign behind their celebrities. Now for shows like Girl Meets World and Liv and Maddie, I don't think that Disney is putting out in terms of promotion. It seems like Nickelodeon is turning over a new leaf and really trying to kick their promotion of their stars into a higher level than what Disney is right now. Disney is kind of backing off promoting their celebrities than what they were 10 years ago. I mean, the difference between now and 10 years ago was people like Miley Cyrus, Demi Lovato, Selena Gomez had the ever-loving Jesus promoted out of them, and that's why millions of people all over the world, if not millions, billions of people, found out of people like Demi Lovato and Selena Gomez and Miley Cyrus, and that's why everybody endorsed them and got behind them in the way they did. I mean, you look at their Facebook subscribers and their Twitter followers, they had millions of subscribers on Facebook and followers on Twitter and other social media networks. It's amazing how many subscribers and followers they have throughout social media. And you look at the numbers Sabrina Carpenter is getting, people like Dove Cameron from Liv and Maddie, and their numbers aren't as high as a Miley Cyrus and Demi Lovato. And it goes back to the promotional campaign Disney had 10 years ago. It was unbelievable and sometimes very overwhelming. They had to put into perspective just how great the promotional campaign was for everything Disney had going on for their stars between the ages of 15 through 25 years of age. And now, 10 years later, fast forward to 2015, you kind of got to question, is the promotional campaign as good as what it once was for Disney? And that is a critical factor as to why not so many people know about someone like a Sabrina Carpenter or a Dove Cameron from shows like Girl Meets World and Liv and Maddie. What's getting Girl Meets World over are the retro stars from the original Boy Meets World back in the 90s, and the scattered guest appearance we get from the original cast members of Boy Meets World, like Sean and Minkus, who were very popular characters of Boy Meets World, which got over in the 90s and is still helping Girl Meets World get over now. So if not for those guest appearances and those original cast members in the way of Corey and Topanga coming back, I don't think this show will be getting over. And that's really unfortunate, because we have a tremendous amount of talent from the newer stars of Girl Meets World on this show really putting out there for the show. And I think that in the future, this cannot go without recognition, because if it goes without recognition, what's going to happen are these stars of this show, the newer stars, are going to stray down the same road of a Miley Cyrus, a Demi Lovato, and a Selena Gomez, which is really unfortunate for them, because we have so many fans out there who are really getting behind people like Sabrina Carpenter and endorsing them the way that they are with their fan pages on Facebook, their fan Twitter pages, at whatever. It's amazing how many fans are getting behind people like Sabrina Carpenter, and I don't think this can go without recognition. I am a huge fan of Sabrina Carpenter. If I wasn't a huge fan of Sabrina Carpenter, I wouldn't be endorsing her with this video blog, the first ever video blog I'm dropping on Sabrina Carpenter, because I think she has a great future. If you give her time, she's going to go to the big screen. She's going to have more roles on television, more TV series in the future. Girl Meets Meets World is not going to be the only place we're going to see Sabrina Carpenter. If not on TV, we're going to see an album being dropped from Sabrina Carpenter in very short time. We're going to see an album, and it's probably going to go on the Billboard chart because of how great of a singer she actually is. So if we can expect anything in the future from her as an actress, we can definitely expect something from her in the way of an album, if not an album, an EP. Everybody has to start somewhere. Ariana Grande, for instance, put out an EP. Eventually she dropped an album called You're Everything, and off that album we got hits like Break Free, Problem, Bang Bang, featuring Jessie J and Nicki Minaj. So definitely there's a lot of potential that goes with Sabrina Carpenter, whether it be an EP, a forthcoming album, another TV series. We just have to give her time to break away from Disney and to come into her own. And I think in due time, she's definitely going to come into her own, and she is definitely going to be turning heads for a very long time. And dare I say, she's not going anywhere anytime soon. As long as Disney gives her the promotion that she needs, Disney keeps putting her out there in the public eye, hopefully she will not crack under pressure in the way of a Demi Lovato, because that is a concern that a lot of people are talking about, especially with how all these Disney Channel stars of the last 10 years have definitely cracked under pressure. Demi Lovato was one of the first major ones to crack under pressure. Others have, because they have not been publicized as much as what the Demi Lovato issue was from a number of years ago. But hopefully someone like Sabrina Carpenter will not crack under pressure, and she'll learn to cope with being famous and learn to deal with this pressure, because that's one of the biggest things that goes with Disney. I think there's a significant amount of pressure put on the shoulders of these young Disney Channel stars, and that's why they are forced to do the things they do and go absolutely crazy years after debuting on Disney Channel because of the restrictions, how they're always monitored, how they're not free to do what they want to do at such a young age. I think that if Disney Channel backed off in the way of Nickelodeon, Nickelodeon's enterprises backed off of their stars, I think there wouldn't be so much pressure affiliated with Disney. But because of the pressure, that's why so many stars are forced to lash out in the way they do years after signing a contract with Disney. So hopefully Sabrina Carpenter realizes that and puts her life in perspective and say, you know, what do I really want out of life? That's what she has to say. She has to come to a pivotal point in her life, and she has to say, you know, what do I really want out of this career? Do I want to go the way of a Miley Cyrus and a Demi Lovato and crack under pressure and go absolutely nuts? Or do I want to take my own time, and do I want to, you know, do it at my own pace? That's what she needs to do. And if she can do that, then she's going to go places. If she can't do that, she needs to get out of Disney. She needs to get out of the public eye before anything disastrously happens to her, because she doesn't deserve to have it happen to her. Because I see probable things ahead for Sabrina Carpenter, believe it or not, and that's why I'm endorsing her. If I didn't see probable things ahead for her and a great future for her, I wouldn't be endorsing her the way that I have been, and the way that I'm going to continue to endorse her with upcoming video blogs on this YouTube channel. If I can put out 15 video blogs every 2 weeks on Ariana Grande, then I can put out 20 every 2 weeks on Sabrina Carpenter, because I know Sabrina Carpenter has that talent. Maybe not in the way of an Ariana Grande or Selena Gomez just yet, but give her the next, say, 4 to 5 years, and she's going to be a main event caliber superstar for Disney. That's definitely, because that's the one that they're endorsing the most. That's the one they're over-promoting, and sometimes definitely overrating with how much she's being put in the public eye, how many media interviews we hear about Sabrina Carpenter, how many things we hear about Sabrina Carpenter on entertainment news websites in the way of blogs from Perez Hilton and TMZ.com. Over there, they love to throw their fair share of criticism towards celebrities like Sabrina Carpenter and Demi Lovato, and I really hate how they love to throw their fair share of criticism in the way of celebrities that have so much potential with their characters and their lives. I mean, it's just absolutely atrocious when you go on TMZ.com and PerezHilton.com and read so many negative blogs like you do and see how many times it's shared throughout Facebook and Twitter. It's ridiculous. I wish more people would be endorsing people like Sabrina Carpenter than finding something negative to talk about in the way of what they're doing with their careers, their professional lives, and their personal lives. I know that Perez Hilton and TMZ definitely blew up the Demi Lovato situation, because that was one of the more talked about things about a Disney Channel star going absolutely nuts and having to go to rehab under the pressure she was having to deal with. It wasn't her fault that she had to deal with the pressure she was dealing with. I think that Disney really realized the potential that went with Demi Lovato, and that's why Demi Lovato cracked under pressure and had to go away for a while, and they had to change her show from Sunny with a Chance to So Random, based off the sketch that was part of the Sunny with a Chance TV series from Disney Channel, which at the time, for the 2 seasons they got and the several episodes they dropped the show, was one of the more popular shows on Disney. So definitely Demi Lovato had potential as both a singer and an actress. She just wanted to focus on her singing more than she did as an actress. So when she came out of rehab, she dropped a new album. After that, she dropped several new singles like Heart Attack and Somebody to You featuring the Vamps. I mean, she came out with hit after hit, so she definitely came back better than she ever did. So maybe going to rehab and everything Disney puts under their stars in the way of pressure definitely goes a long way in benefiting them, because, I mean, look what it did for Demi Lovato. We can say so many negative things about a Demi Lovato, but I mean, in the end, Demi Lovato really bounced back. So I think that if Sabrina Carpenter had to deal with this sort of thing, she would be one of these celebrities that definitely would bounce back from anything unfortunate that would happen to her. And I don't see that ahead for Sabrina Carpenter. Let me say that. Let me clarify that for you. I don't see this sort of future in the way of a Demi Lovato future for Sabrina Carpenter, because I see great things ahead for the future of Sabrina Carpenter. And anyone who doesn't think that great things are ahead for people like Maya from Girl Meets World, Sabrina Carpenter, and the cast of Girl Meets World, you are absolutely nuts. You've obviously never heard of Girl Meets World. You don't know the potential that goes with the show, and I think that it just can't go without recognition. And that's why I'm putting this video blog out on my YouTube channel at Jonathan Clarke 22, and that's why I'm talking about it in such high ways as what I am, because if I weren't talking about Girl Meets World, I obviously would be living under a rock for the last, I'd say, year to year and a half, because last summer it was one of the biggest hits from Disney Channel. This year, not even past the halfway point of 2015 yet, it's one of the biggest hits on Disney Channel, so it's got almost 2 years in, and it's just an amazing show that I think everybody should take something from, because there's definitely something in there on Girl Meets World for every member of the family, and there's definitely a different message with every episode. You know, I did a video blog previously on Girl Meets World talking about the whole cast, the theme of the show, and what the show was trying to get out there, put out there on Disney Channel, and I thought it was headed in a probable direction. And I didn't recognize the stars as much as what I probably should have of Girl Meets World, because it's definitely one of the reasons why this show is getting over. You have Ben Savage, you have Sabrina Carpenter in there, two of the biggest stars on that show, and definitely two of the biggest stars on Disney Channel. And Sabrina Carpenter is definitely outdoing a lot of the stars on Disney Channel right now, because for a while, as I said earlier on in the show, earlier on in the broadcast, Disney didn't seem to be putting out creatively, and that was an issue. That was a concern of mine. They were talking too much about Frozen, the upcoming Pirates of the Caribbean. They were overrating the same 4 or 5 issues, how they had purchased a share with Marvel, how they owned Marvel and the rights to Star Wars Episode 8, which is a big project for Disney coming up over the next year to year and a half. They were talking too much about the same 4 or 5 things. Frozen 2, the new Pirates of the Caribbean, this and that, Marvel. Too much conversation on the same 3 or 4 things. And that's where Nickelodeon was really capitalizing with promoting their stars and